The OnPlan B2B revenue forecasting app breaks down revenue into three components: existing customers, pipeline prospects, and top-down long-term forecasting. The first major component of any B2B revenue forecast is understanding and planning for your existing customers. The OnPlan B2B revenue forecasting app allows you to plan on a customer-by-customer level, incorporating key information and drivers for a granular forecasting approach. Here, we see a list of all of our existing customers, as well as additional information such as payment, start date, contract renewal, churn date, ARR, and more. The next major consideration when forecasting your revenue is your pipeline customers. With the B2B revenue forecasting app, we can isolate pipeline forecasting to accommodate any different assumptions and nuances and consolidate once the outputs have been generated. Here we can observe the similarities with the existing setup, however, now incorporating additional drivers such as the opportunity owner, the sales cycle, and probability of closing that are unique to pipeline forecasting and can be utilized for reporting and other purposes. Now, typically when forecasting in a spreadsheet, this is an extremely manual and laborious process, having to add new columns, update existing information, add new customers, etc. However, with any OnPlan app, we will connect to your CRM like Salesforce or HubSpot to automate the whole process. This means that every time a new customer joins, a new line item with all their corresponding information will be added without any manual adjustments or upkeep from your end. This allows for more time and effort into analysis and enhancements. In OnPlan, you are not limited by the number or type of drivers you want to apply to your customer dataset, and more importantly, worrying about link breakages and other difficulties typically faced when using spreadsheets. For example, here we're specifying what sales stage a deal is in, as well as the conversion probability. In addition, we are attaching a billing frequency for each customer with pre-built options, as well as the ability to add or remove new ones. Likewise, we're determining payment terms to get a more accurate understanding of our cash flow. This will produce analytics to accurately forecast not only your income statement, but cash runway as well. You can continue to have as many different drivers as you want, such as accounting for the different revenue splits from a customer like professional services, platform, etc. The third critical approach is the top-down approach. The OnPlan B2B revenue forecasting app allows you to use high-level market data and set realistic revenue targets based on your TAM, or total addressable market, during a set period of time. Here, we see our revenue breakdowns, allocations, and key revenue determinants such as ACV, setup fees, recurring fees, churn rate, and more. We can play around with different values and assumptions to derive a more accurate and relevant forecast. For example, if we expect a larger ACV starting next year, we can see the trickle-down effect on our multiple revenue streams. Recurring fees, which in turn will affect our MRR for the month and increase our booking value, as we can see. Another illustration of top-down forecasting is looking at quotas and attainment. With the B2B revenue forecasting app, you can set the quota targets for your sales team as well as attainments to get a deeper understanding and forecast your revenue from a top-down approach. With the OnPlan B2B revenue forecasting app, you not only have complete flexibility to include all the relevant drivers and assumptions critical to your business, but can also experiment with different inputs to analyze how different market conditions affect your revenue. Additionally, you have the ability to leverage this information and parse it out in order to create specific views. When looking at customer data, it is important to be able to segment them based on the categorization your company needs. Here, for example, you can group your data regionally to analyze them separately, or isolate them by different classifications, like by a specific owner or segment. This can be applied throughout any report in OnPlan. We can then leverage the B2B revenue forecasting application's output templates that calculate common industry standards, best practices, and your company's specific metrics and results. Here we see revenue breakdown, deferred revenue, accounts receivable, and more being calculated on a monthly basis as well as on a customer-by-customer level for a more granular overview. In addition, we produce key metrics and indicators using this data, such as active customers, MRR movement, churn rate, just to name a few. All of this information is connected through spreadsheet formulas and is directly being driven by the assumption sheets previously shown. With each report in OnPlan, you can view the data on a monthly, quarterly, and annual basis. Where applicable, you can view your historical data side by side with your forecast for referential or comparative analysis. In addition, we can start creating department and employee-specific views as well for security and reporting purposes. OnPlan then allows you to create scenario comparisons on the fly in order to compare the results of your different assumptions utilized for your scenarios. Here, we can see the effects of a less aggressive forecast compared to our standard scenario. Where the sales team's quota and attainment targets are not met, revenue seems to be directly affected as less pipeline customers close, and likewise, we see the effect trickle through the different metrics we have below. OnPlan allows for alternate views as well. Here we're comparing our current year forecast with previous plans. The current forecast shows architects booking shift by a month and is not expected to close in May. However, the sales team is still confident that they can close the architect deal in June and still hit quarterly targets. If you need help with B2B revenue forecasting, book a demo and we'd be happy to show you how this OnPlan app and others can help.